Hi class, this is Dr. Karsten, and today I'm going to be going over Grade 4, Unit 1, Lesson 5, Session 1 practice pages. So remember that we are learning how to subtract, and we actually worked on a whole bunch of different ways that you could subtract larger numbers, and we ended up settling on the algorithm, and you all were doing really well using the algorithm. So let's go ahead and let's use that some more today while we're doing these problems. So here it says, the question number 2, you didn't have to do question 1. Question 2, it says, do you need to regroup to subtract 881 from 4,986? And then it says, how do you know? So let's go ahead and let's set this up and let's take a look, because the best way to do this is for us to do it ourselves and then see what we find out. So I'm going to start with this number, 4,986, and from that I am going to subtract 881. So remember that I like to make sure that everything stays nice and clear, so we like to put our lines in when we're doing our work. Oop, I need to extend those. Okay, so let's take a look at our ones and see if we have to do any regrouping anywhere. Let's start over here on our ones, because now a few pointers really quickly. First of all, I want to remind you that when we are doing these problems, we always line up our ones under our ones, our tens under our tens, our hundreds under our hundreds, and so on and so forth. So make sure that you're aligning things up the way that we're lining them up right here. The next thing I want to remind you is that we always start all the way to the right in the ones over here. Now, there are times that we are going to have numbers that go even further to the right than just the ones place. We're going to get into decimals and things like that. But for now, we're going to be starting in the ones. When we do have decimals and we go on further, you're still going to start as far to the right as you possibly can when we're doing our subtraction. So for today, though, we're going to start here in our ones. So if I take a look, I can do 6 minus 1. 6 minus 1 is just 5. No regrouping so far. 8 minus 8 is 0, so I didn't have to regroup. 9 minus 8 is 1, and 4 minus nothing is 4. So no, I did not have to regroup. So when it says, do you need to regroup to subtract? The answer is no. How do you know? Well, I had enough ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands that I did not need to regroup. So I'm going to say that. I had enough ones, tens, hundreds, and I'm writing kind of quickly, and thousands. So I did not need to regroup. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's my puppy getting a drink. Very noisily, I might add. All right, so that's page 1. Let's take a look at page 2. So here we go. We have page 2 and question number 2. I'm going to pause until he's done. Okay, he's done with his drink. Here we go. So here's the next problem. It says, there are 3,284 cookies and 924 muffins in a bakery. How many more cookies than muffins are in the bakery? So one thing that we did today was we were looking for those words that really give us a clue to what we are trying to do. And right here we have a grouping of words. How many more? Remember, when we're looking for how many more, we're looking for what's different. We're trying to figure out, like, what's the difference between these two things? And difference, or how many more, tells us we are going to be subtracting. So here, let's take a look at our important numbers that we need to use for this problem. So we have 3,284 cookies, we have 924 muffins, and we need to figure out how many more cookies we have than muffins. So I'm going to use subtraction for this again. So I'm going to set it up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write 3,284 cookies, and from that we are going to subtract 924 muffins. Now again, I love to have my lines to keep us nice and organized, and I want to point out again that when we line these up, our ones are under our ones, our tens are under our tens, our hundreds are under our hundreds. So you have to be really careful and make sure that you're lining them up over on the right side. I definitely noticed last week some of you were struggling and you were lining them up on the left side, and that's definitely not something we want to do. We always line up here, ones under ones, tens under tens, etc. Now again, we also start our subtraction over on this side when we're doing it. So let's go ahead and do that. So 4 minus 4 is 0. 8 minus 2 is 6. Now here, 2 minus 9, we can't do 2 hundreds minus 9 hundreds. We don't have enough hundreds. If I have $200 bills, I can't loan you $900. It's just not going to happen. So what happens is that we are going to regroup. We're going to go over here and we're going to take one of those thousands and move it over there. So this becomes 2 because it's going to give up one of its thousands, and that's going to move over, but we still have those 2 hundreds. So now we have 12 hundreds. And now I can do 12 minus 9, and I get 3, and 2 minus nothing is 2. And that's our answer. So now we could say down here in the solution area, we could say there are 2,360 more cookies. Oop, helps if I spell it correctly. And all I did was I'm just taking it. It says how many more cookies than muffins are there in their bakery? So I'm just saying there are 2,360 more cookies, and I could say than muffins even. Let's be even better. And now it's perfect. All right, except for my handwriting. Let's take a look at the bottom here. So it says, check your answer, show your work. The way that you all agreed upon that we thought was the best way to check our work was to use addition. We're going to use the inverse. Inverse is like opposite, operation, then subtraction. So what's the opposite of subtraction? Addition. So what we're going to do is we are going to take our answer and add it to the number that we subtracted to see if we get the original number. So let's go ahead and do that. So I can see down here, I know you guys can't see up top when I have it down here, but I'm going to go ahead and start here. So our answer was 2,360, and to that I'm going to add 924 to see if I get the original number. So now we're adding. 0 plus 4 is 4, 6 plus 2 is 8, 9 plus 3 is 12, I have to regroup, and 1 plus 2 is 3. And now, when I go ahead and I compare this answer to the top one, I can give myself a check because we did a great job. And here you can see it, that our original number was 3,284, and down here we got 3,284. So good job, my friends. Great work. All right, I will see you tomorrow in our Google Classroom. Have a great evening.